What is up, everybody? It is Rodak with Rodak Revival, and I am here to break down the Atlanta 2022 Supercross race. And guys, before we jump into the video, if you please can hit a like on this video and consider hitting that subscribe button. You don't have to do it. If you just could consider doing it, I would really appreciate that, guys. It helps out the channel a ton. But without further ado, let's hop into this race recap. So coming into the 250 main event, we were all super excited. It was that East-West showdown. We have Jett Lawrence, Christian Craig, Michael Mosman, RJ Hampshire, Hunter Lawrence. We have all these guys, and they're finally here to do battle. But to be honest with you guys, I only let myself be so excited when it comes to these East-West showdowns because they never play out exactly how we want them to. So it started out with Joe Shimoda with Hunter Lawrence and Jett Lawrence right there in tow as well. But the big matchup we wanted to see was Jett and Christian Craig was back there in 10th place. Now a few laps go by. I believe it was only one lap goes by. They come around on the second lap. Jett is putting all the pressure on Hunter, and Jett goes down after the whoop section, ends up dropping all the way back to 15th place. So right there, I know Jett wasn't fast enough to come back for that win because Hunter was already way out ahead. So was Christian. He was not going to make up 15, 16 seconds, whatever it was. There was no way Jett was going to be able to make that up. So I said, okay. Christian Craig had finally worked his way up into second place. He looked like he was catching Hunter quite a bit. And it just seems like the past two races that it's been between Hunter and Christian. Once Hunter realizes that Christian gets into that second place, Hunter just seems to be able to turn it on because Christian can catch him. I think Christian was like 6 seconds back, ended up making it up to about 2 seconds, sometimes even under 2 seconds. But then once he got into that second place, they kind of just yo-yoed from there. And isn't it so crazy, guys, that when Hunter does win another race this year, Jett still seems to steal the show? Because Jett Lawrence, down all the way back in 15th place, manages to come back and get third place in this race. And the pass for the podium actually happened on the last lap of Joe Shimoda. He got around Joe. Just like Jett said on the podium, he thought Joe was just giving it to him, but then Joe came back and tried to put a block pass on him twice in two separate corners. They were playing a little bit of cat and mouse, but Jett was out there absolutely pushing on all levels. I was actually a little bit nervous because when Jett pushes like that, usually he completely ends up wadding himself. So I was excited to see that Jett did not eat it, but I was also to see Hunter just gaining some confidence. It's nice to see Hunter get some recognition and get some shine. We all know Hunter is good. We all know Hunter is fast, but Jett does steal a lot of that spotlight. So even today, when they did a little feature on him, it was all about Jett. It wasn't about Hunter. So it's always awesome to see Hunter go out there and hold his own. He beat Christian straight up. Christian had every opportunity to get up there and pass him, and he didn't. So kudos to Hunter for coming away with this win. But it was a little disappointing because I would have really liked to see Jett and Christian go head to head, but I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. Your top three was Hunter Lawrence coming away with your win, Christian Craig in second, and Jett Lawrence in third. Not much else to really talk about in the race. It was pretty much the Jett Lawrence show after he went down. Christian and Hunter got into first and second and just kind of maintained that position, and that was about it. So what did you guys think about that 250 race? Leave it down in the comments. Let's hop into these 450s. So coming into this 450 class, I believe it was Chase Sexton with the whole shot. I can't remember. It literally just happened 25, 30 minutes ago while I'm making this video. But I believe it was Chase Sexton out front early. Then it was Justin Barcia, Jason Anderson, and Eli Tomac, and Cooper Webb. Those were your top five. And it looked like it was going to be Chase's day. He was fastest qualifier. He was fastest in his heat. He was absolutely flying, and he was out there doing his thing. But Chase just gives us every reason to not believe that he just hasn't gotten over that mental hump yet to where he just cannot not make a mistake. So after about 3 or 4 laps, Chase had already pulled out about a 1.5 seconds, 2 second lead on Jason Anderson, and he ends up tucking the front wheel in the corner and going down, handing over the lead to Jason Anderson with Justin Barcia shortly in tow. And this is where Jason Anderson would start to pull away. I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but they didn't mention it in the broadcast, but the whoop section before the finish line, that little rhythm before then, everybody was going double, double, triple out. Jason started going triple, triple, single into the whoop section. It seemed like it was a lot faster. That was a confidence move. That is one of those moves where you absolutely feel comfortable on your bike. pulling out something that no one was doing all an entire day. A little bit of James Stewart in there, pulling out a triple single when everybody else was doing double triple. From there, I was honestly a little bit surprised though, because Eli Tomac was back there in fourth and was just running really slow to the point where Cooper Webb actually ended up getting by him. And the reason I said it was a little bit weird is because Tomac looked like he was the fastest rider on the track during the heat race. He did have a, he didn't win the heat race. Jason Anderson won, but he was able to catch Jason Anderson pretty much at will and just made a little mistake by sliding out in a corner. But I genuinely thought that Eli was going to come out firing because he just seemed like he was the fastest guy on the track during the heat race. But also to Cooper's credit, I don't know if they found something on that bike or if that week off just made him rejuvenated, but he came back and he was on all cylinders firing. So Cooper and Eli would eventually make their way into second and third place, and that is pretty much how they ran for the rest of the race until about that 5-minute mark when Eli would go ahead and make the move on Cooper Webb, just absolutely get by him. I was a little nervous because I knew we know how scrappy Cooper is. He will run it in on you, but he didn't do it with Eli. Eli was able to solidify that second spot, but also at that same time when Eli and Cooper were battling, Chase Sexton had worked his way back up from falling in that corner and was right there on this group of guys as well. And then with about 2 or 3 laps to go, Chase would end up making the move on Cooper Webb, and that was how they would finish out. You had your winner, Jason Anderson. They barely even talked about him, barely even showed him other than like the first 2 laps and the last lap. But he put on a clinic today. He looked absolutely comfortable, like I said, hitting a line no one else was hitting it even though I don't even think he did it earlier in the day. So kudos to Jason Anderson for coming out with a win. You had Eli Tomac managing a second place, and just like he said, the track was really deceiving. He was just going to come out there with maximum amount of points that he can get, and just, even if he's not going to win, at least do some damage control and come through in a second. And you had Chase Sexton with an impressive ride. It was another one of those races where he probably is going to win the race if he doesn't make a mistake. Ends up making this mistake, drops back to 7th or 8th, comes back and gets on the podium, so that's a good ride from him. And an honorable mention, you had Cooper Webb in 4th, and as he stated on the podium, that's probably the fastest he's rode since last season. So I don't know if he's just feeling more comfortable, or like I said, that little break, that little 1-week break from his injury gave him a little bit of rejuvenation, but good to see Cooper up there running with those guys as well. So yeah, guys, coming down to these last 3 rounds, we have Jason Anderson. He is 53 points behind Eli Tomac. Does Jason even make it interesting? I don't even know if it would be even possible. You would literally have to have Tomac miss a whole entire race to even make it a conversation, I believe, but you never know. It's Supercross. Anything can absolutely happen. One more time before we head out of here, guys. Your podium tonight was Jason Anderson with your win, Eli Tomac in 2nd, and Chase Sexton in 3rd. And that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We had an early race, so we got a little bit of the evening time to go do whatever you want to go do. Go to the grocery store, go to the gym, just whatever you want to do, or if you just want to relax. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope everybody has a happy Easter tomorrow, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.